just to jump right back in there to things. I mean, Ken, where can folks find you, like on your social media, or if they want to get in contact with you? What's like a website or some of your social media, just so that people know that Ken Shamrock's still out there and
Yeah, we didn't know you were alive.
Speaking engagements, what else did you do? Go
There was
ahead.
a time where I didn't know either.
Yeah.
But no, actually, it's kenshamrock.com. It's got all my social platforms on the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the stuff. So you can just go to that one spot. And it also has a newsletter. We have newsletters that we deliver that you can get involved with on there. So go check out the website. And there's all the information's there. If you want to get involved as a fan, you want to be a part of the fan club, you want to be part of valorbk.com. That's another platform that we have that is with our fighting. So if you're a fighter, or if a person wants to be involved in fighting or be involved in the actual business itself, or if you're a fan, you can go to valorbk.com and it's got all the information and the stuff that we're doing right now, where we're literally trying to find events, we're doing tryouts, all that information will be on there also. So you can go to Valor
Where's
BK.
it based out of?
What is?
The company. Where's the company?
At Wyoming.
Wyoming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's because I think Wyoming, at least at that time, back when we did it, was the only state that allowed bare knuckle. Mm-hmm. So, but now there's I think 4 or 5 states now that actually allow bare knuckle.
Right.
So it's starting to open up like the old UFC did, where there was just a few states.
Yeah.
But it's starting to open up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old UFC is thing is, the joke was, you after the fight, you either go to the after party or you go to jail. Or to the hospital. Either after party or hospital. Yeah. But then after, the jail.
Right? Yeah. They started arresting people. Yeah. It's like if you do bare knuckle, you can get arrested.
Yeah.
So
you hit him, you get arrested. Wait, this is a fight,
right? Yeah, like it was like we're actually doing a fight. But if you hit him with a closed fist, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah. No karate chops.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a crazy part then when they actually told us when me and Dan were supposed to fight in Detroit.
Yeah.
I literally said, okay, I'll just hit him open hand. And that was, in that fight, that was illegal. You weren't allowed to use your hands unless you had a glove on. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't, when did you hit him? And I was like, okay, open hand. Nope. I could still get arrested for an open hand strike to the head.
Really?
Yep. Because you had to wear a glove. That's what they came in and said. Yeah. If you were going to punch, you had to wear a glove.
Right. I knew McCarthy said, or we'll find you sometime.
Yes, right.
At
which, but that would have been fine too, except for just 2 weeks prior to that, over in Canada, over the bridge, they arrested guys for an event, and I think that's what stuck in my head more than anything was like they literally did arrest somebody. If they hadn't have prior to that, then it would have been okay. Well, yeah, this company don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just going to slap us on the wrist. Oh, can't slap on the wrist either.
Right.
What's up, Dan?
Uh-oh, the moment, the finger.
Let me interject there on that note. On that same note there, when Big John was going from locker room to locker room and basically saying what went down in that in court that day, John and I already had this relationship where he simply knew that I was going to ask questions. Right. So when he said that you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, otherwise you will be warned. And so when he said that, I'm like, oh, well, John, how many times are you going to be warned before any action is going to take place? Because now it's kind of going, are we going to be just tippy-toeing in that red zone, or are we going to be going stepping full on that red zone? I ended up watching the very first match. I'm trying to think, who was it that went out there and he hit like half a dozen headbutts right in a row, and all I heard Big John was go, warning, and I'm like going, well, I waited to see the match was over. Nobody was waiting at the gate with the handcuffs to take him away. I'm thinking, well, I'll just keep watching a few more matches to see how this kind of goes on here right now before I make up my actual decision.
So what Dan is doing is actually Dan.
I don't know if you remember this.
Dan, what you're doing is you're making it okay for you punching me.
He's rationalizing it.
Yeah.
Well, no, again, Call it rationalizing or simply. I always watch. I always watch the first match or two to see how referees are calling things because no two referees are alike. So I always would watch and hope. You never knew what referee that you were going to get anyway, but you at least get an idea by then how are they calling things. So I was always big about trying to watch the referees within those first couple matches.
I thought John was doing all the fights.
You got a long time to kill there for the night.
Was it John the only referee back then? Was it John the only referee back then? Or did they have two referees?
Well, I mean, no, they would have a couple referees. I mean, as time progressed, more referees.
Right, but I thought.
But there was during that. Again, during the second match in Detroit, I don't even know if Ken even heard me, but Big John, Ken had a full mount on me. For almost like 6 minutes, and each time that Ken tried to lift up to rain down, with whether it be open palms or not, I basically held on to his lat. So literally, he was trying to do like a push up with me. Parasited, holding right out to him, but like he's trying to lift me out up.
Yeah, I never threw.
And I saw Big John.
I never threw any hands. I never threw any hands. You watch that, you'll see I never threw any hands.
Yeah.
Even in the mount, I never threw anything.
Well, somebody hit me.
Yeah, I never threw any hands at all. Okay. Crossface, yes, crossface. I was doing that crossface like I normally do on top. Was crossfacing and stuff like that, but I never sat up and threw any hands whatsoever. Yeah, you can watch it. It's the truth. Okay. I promise.
Well, just during. Well, one of the funny segments of that there was as I'm underneath you, I see out of the corner of my eye, I see Big John, and he's walking around. He's kind of looking right there, and for just a moment there, I pop my head out from underneath your body. I look right up at him, and I go, "It's a hell of a way to make a buck." And I hopped right back underneath him, and he just shook his head. He just couldn't believe I came up with a one-liner like that.
Yeah, I didn't know what you said, but I knew you were talking to him. I knew you were talking to him because like I was sitting on top of you, and I was trying to control you from you rolling me. And I knew that you slipped your head out there and said something to him, and I didn't know what it was. I knew you said something like I don't, and I thought you were saying something like, "Well, he ain't doing anything. Stand us up."
There's no danger.
Yeah, right.
No, I was just hitting him with the little one-liner that he come to expect out of me anymore. So that was all I was doing.
You're right.
I didn't want to let him down.
Right.
Well, here's the question for you, Ken. Now, just talking about the UFC in general, you have Rorion Gracie, who is the matchmaker. You've got the UFC Hall of Fame. You've got Royce Gracie, who is inducted into the Hall of Fame first. And to me, I keep thinking I want to get your thoughts and ideas as to what did you feel the whole UFC was about, especially in those early shows.
Yeah,
what was it really all about?
Yeah, no question. I think as we look back on it now, I mean, I think we know it was basically an advertisement for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it was a paid advertisement.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And
or
the whole thing.
Yeah,
and it was a whole setup too, because even going into that first event, they must have changed it like 4 to 5 times on who I was supposed to fight, which they already knew how I was going to fight and how they were going to place Royce and me because I was the threat to Royce, and they knew that. Yeah. And so going in there, I literally didn't know who I was fighting or when I was fighting. And then they told me that I couldn't wear shoes. Like I could, and I've always, even in Japan, I wrestled. In Japan, I wore shoes. I had never been on a mat without shoes. And so in my mind, which was ignorant on my part, well, that ain't going to stop me. Like, not knowing how slippery that was really, because when I fought Pat, I had to tight waist him. And I had to kind of corkscrew him and trip him to get him down because I tried to step and get him and my foot kept slipping even as I had the tight waist. And that's when I realized at that time, like, oh, this is a little more difficult than what I had actually thought. And so there was no question that and anybody that was in it will tell you that it was supposed to be no holds barred, and no rules. Anything goes.
Right.
The minute we get in there, they hold a rules meeting. Well, hello, hold up. Hold up. I thought this was no rules. And they literally say especially for you got guys that they make money with their hands. So you got Gerard Godot and you got Art Jemerson. And they're both guys that fight with their hands, and they make big money with their hands. And now they're being told that they can't tape their hands. They can't tape their hands. And you're thinking, well, hold up. I thought you said there were no rules. And they took my shoes away. They took away one of the karate guys took away his kick pads, right, that he wanted to wear, kick pads, which probably because he had a padding on there and he could kick him in the head and not hurt his shin. Right. So there were a lot of those things that were going on where they were literally taking things out, and you were thinking to yourself, hold up, this is supposed to be no rules. Well, then...
Well, when I fought, first time I fought Gary Goodridge, I grabbed hold of the cage. Let go of the cage.
There's no rules.
Well, yeah, why? Yeah.
Right. So you're thinking to yourself...
He's making shit up while he's in there.
Every time. And that's exactly what the first one was they were literally massaging it to fit whatever they needed for Hoist to win.
Right.
And so... when I went into fight Hoist and with no shoes on, when I actually shot on him and I was actually scrambling because I had his ankle and I was scrambling to get back to my knees to sit back with his ankle, I had no footing. I literally was slipping off the mat. Like a wrestling, when I had my shoes on, I could post on my feet and use the side of my shoe to get leverage to be able to come back around, sit back for that leg. I wasn't able to do that. My feet were slipping. And so as I tried to roll up, that's when he rolled the gi around my chin, my neck, and he choked me with it. And here I was told no shoes. Guys can't tape their hands because the shoes are a weapon. But yet I just got choked with the gi that was used as a weapon. It was that. And again, you can't not hate him for it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, smart. Very
smart. Right? It was beautiful. It was a smart move.
Didn't you always have wrestling shoes on, Dan, right? They allowed that when you were fighting on early.
Well, they did, but the only thing that they told me was if you wore shoes, you're not allowed to kick or stomp. And I'm thinking, well, what is Dan Severn losing on this? I don't kick or stomp anyway. But like what Ken was saying, though, the traction that you can get on that surface made the world of difference, because it's kind of like going out there. You can have on a vinyl surface, it's a vinyl tarp. If you throw any little bit of sweat on there, now to have any kind of footing on to you're not going to have any kind of footing. But just like what Ken is saying, that the wrestling shoes, they have this rubberized sole to it, even up on the side, to where as you're shooting up on the side of the shoe, you can still get great momentum. So I was a big advocate of wearing shoes up to the point that I could no longer wear shoes. As the sport changed from no holds barred to mixed martial arts, it's not like they flipped the light switch on and it changed in all the different states. It basically kind of just slowly progressed from state to state to state, that there would be sometimes I would be in a cage some night, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this move. And as I'm holding my opponent down, I actually have to look up at the referee and go, hey, ref, am I allowed to do this? I'm tipping my hand to my opponent, but I didn't want to incur any violations that I could possibly get disqualified for. So again, that was just the sportsmanship portion of me that came through at that point. But I really wanted to hear Ken, because that's all it really ever was a marketing tool for selling Gracie Jiu-Jitsu franchises. They made more money off of the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu franchises than anything else. But the thing is, and Art Davie was left in the dark on this, because he was a businessman. He wanted to bring this thing to come to life, but he wasn't a matchmaker. He didn't really understand the athlete and the athletic portion of it, and that's where he had heard about the Gracie Challenge, and he had met Jorge Gracie, and that's how that partnership came there. So I actually look at that Art as being very naive from the athletic perspective, and did all this part, and so I hold him harmless, and yet I look at Jorge as he took advantage, and you have, just as Don was saying before, you have to tip your hat to him it worked for the Gracies, and they, a lot of people know them, and they had the opportunity to do a lot of things. But is that the most complete form? No, it's not.
No.
And that's been proven when you look at the current athletes today. Where are there really the roots from? You've got to be very multifaceted still. But when you look at the top 10 men per weight class, 8 or 9 of them have that amateur wrestling foundation, and they had to acquire some striking skills and some submission skills. You usually have maybe one jiu-jitsu guy, but when it comes to strikers, I mean, Conor McGregor really is the only guy that actually made that lineup, except for the one new heavyweight now. Who is the knockout artist? I'm
he's
drawing
a big heavy set African American kid. He's a beast. I mean, he literally
Ngannou's he's on quite the roll.
Yes, got some knockouts.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
he's a fucking 6'4".
Yeah. He destroyed that wrestler, the big wrestler guy that came in to fight him on his last one, and he got the best of him. I mean, I thought that was going to be a good fight.
Yeah,
but he caught him early. Yeah.
Huh. And Ngannou, he's a monster. He's just a fucking monster. 6'4", 240.
Beast.
It'd be hard to beat that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got good hands.
Yeah, but how's his ground though?
You see him
he's working on his ground, but that's why I thought for sure this last fight he was going against a guy that had Olympic quality wrestling, was same size as him, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a challenge, but he caught him early.
Yeah,
caught him early.
Yeah, you get punched, it changes
Yeah.
all aspects of your game, man.
Did you see him uppercut Overeem?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, made him look like a Pez dispenser.
Really?
Yeah. Overeem though, going into that's where you were going to find out whether or not Overeem still wanted to fight or if he still had the drive. And you knew right then it was done. It was over.
Yeah.
Overeem.
He got taken right out.
He got overreamed, but he was unique in his style too. He was
did
good.
A great job.
Yeah.
He stuck around for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a hell of a run.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he's, from my understanding, I don't know him personally, but my good friend of mine, JT, is good friends with him. Said he's a really nice guy. So, yeah. You like to hear that with guys that have done some things in MMA. They represented it well and good role models.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want people who have attitude problems.
You're right.
He's right.
You want guys that are too nice.
What are you trying to say there, Don? If I got an attitude problem here?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Mr. Severn.
I think it's the opposite. I think Dan is too nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too nice, and maybe that's part of it, that he doesn't want his opponents being mad at him, so they can't hit him. So, therefore it...
he wants to go out for ice cream afterwards. And he wants them to pay.
Yeah.
Good little gimmick there.
Okay. Well, Don, because you brought that up, I mean, just within the last couple of weeks ago, Ken and I were back in New Jersey and New York for a couple of virtual signings, and virtual signings plus all people coming in person. We had one of his. It
was Steve.
What exactly is the role of
Steve?
Steve. I mean, he's shooting stuff. He's shooting a lot of footage for Valor, correct?
Yeah, Valor, and also our social media stuff. Yeah.
Ken?
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, that's kind of what a unique thing, because we end up going to Steve's parents' ice cream parlor, and we had ice cream.
Yeah.
Finally, he gets there.
Yeah.
And you know, Mr. Frye, did Dan Severn turn down ice cream?
No, not if it's free. No, I'm sure you filled your pockets with it before you left.
Well, it was also a homemade ice cream. So his parents own a shop up there, and it's good, man. They have good ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia. Yep.
Yeah. So they have the Beast and the Most Dangerous Man ice cream fudge sundae, or what?
Yeah, we're killing the
ice cream tour.
Yeah, we got soft.
Soft serve.
Yeah, we got soft.